On that note, a similar situation here with Miniorek and DavidW. I think Miniorek has aspirations of winning this silver group, but the silver group that we're looking at is very difficult. It includes some absolute killers in someone like Rov or Nebula. So if either of these players is going to be making it to top two or winning this group entirely, they need to be winning matches like this. David W is an absolute menace to have to play against, not necessarily based on like their like statistics or skill, but just because they are a very unique player. David W has a habit of just beating players who are better than them, or have had not even better than them, have had more success than them, um, competitively. I'm really interested to see how this one goes, and let's get these picks and bans done if you want to get us started.
Yeah, I mean, David is obviously gonna ban balcony because I mean, who wants to play balcony this high
You
up?
say obviously against Miniorek?
And yeah, against Mini, it is a little bit confusing. That's true.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that we had them flipped about. I think that's Minioreks.
oh wait, they're switched. Oh, that
Yeah.
actually makes much more sense. Oh, okay, that explains a lot more of this. Okay, let me visually switch these. David W banning redwoods then makes more sense. But it's also a little sad too, because I wanted to see some redwoods. And Miniorek is going to ban balcony, which is an actual ban. um,
Um, yeah, I mean, just to finish this off, that's going to be David W doubling library and ballroom, and then Miniorek doubling aquarium, and then also gallery, which was restricted by David W. Potentially could have doubled gallery if it wasn't restricted. So a good restriction there from David W. Perhaps. So uh, with that, I believe we are getting started with aquarium.
yep, I believe so too. So
I'm
hopefully we're
showing
right.
Miniorek starting off as mom on aquarium. If we're all ready to go.
I have Miniorek as teal actually, but
Yeah,
either way.
same. I
Yes.
say falcon, you say eagle. Um, but it's really a three. Let's get it started on three in one, two, three.
Okay.
You just start over.
No, I got it. Just had to
Do I have
think
to
about it for a
intervene?
second.
What's wrong with you?
What is going on in this party? Literally nobody wants to go into a conversation. We're gonna actually be the first here, with Duke, 44% flirt. Just everybody scattered like they saw a shark. And hey, look, a shark.
Oh wow, that's really convenient. There's a shark there as soon as you said that. You didn't
Yeah,
know that was there.
from the sniper's perspective, it's brutal, right? Like you have to track all these different statues. The shark is potentially blocking. You got a bunch of highlights here early because half the party went to the bar. And for David W, who really likes watching flirt, um, we were the only people in conversation talking with somebody, but we didn't even do it particularly close. 44% isn't the maximum. So for an interesting first 5 or 10 seconds, I think it's already been advantage mini wreck.
Yeah, I mean, party has, thankfully for David W at least, died down a little bit, but still, that was wild.
Yeah, the
I
ambassador, interestingly, is standing in the middle conversation while the shark is moving across. Someone like Red Dress is probably quite likely to have been credited with a bug, not to mention just the people inside the conversation, like Rocker. Um, this has been a pretty rough time for David W. Meanwhile, Minirek is just comfortable with 74% of the flirt done.
yeah, but
And the end of red.
contact also coming off, which is gonna knock out Red Dress, like you said earlier, along with a few others. But
It's good
we
progress here for Minirek. We just walked through conversation in our intent to get near Duke. This is a cheese. We're flirting behind the shark. With such respect here for DavidW's ability to track flirt, we're now cheesing flirts behind shark to prevent his ability to do so. Miniorek is definitely playing against his opponent.
Yeah, I mean, really knowing your opponent can sometimes help, and this is a very good example of that. So,
Perhaps the two easiest missions done though, right? With contact and flirt, we expected to have those done when we started up the game if we're gonna have a chance of winning. I'm interested to see what Miniorek's third and fourth mission. It could be Purloin, but what do you think should be the fourth mission if we do a Purloin?
well, I mean, I trust Miniorek to know better than I would, even though I'm the best player in the game, obviously. But, I mean, I think a bug is always a good option on Aquarium. So, and who knows, maybe some other cheese behind shark.
Okay, if we're gonna be doing a Purloin, it doesn't look like anybody's been to the bar recently. It would be pretty self-framing. Miniorek looking to get into conversation near General, who is a low light. It is kind of behind the shark, so it is going to be a bit harder for DavidW to track. But if a low light takes the Purloin, okay.
Oh.
Or, hear me out. Don't do that. We shoot boots instead. For going to blue bookcase.
I think blue had a print on it. I think.
Yeah,
Amber was there,
looking this over, I think it's
there's a
Prince.
print on there.
Yeah, boots had prints.
I think the print on blue bookshelf is fully smudged, but it's easy to miss. I think it was a suspected fingerprint finish.
Boots had prints sounds like one of those things that a beatboxer would say, like boots and prints and boots and prints and boots and
Boots and
prints.
Taft.
Yeah, it's the new memorization tool. You just beatbox your way to remember. Unfortunately, DavidW didn't have a track on Miniorek, and that is going to be 1-0 to our spy. Miniorek takes the lead. Now we have DavidW, drink in hand, ambassador nearby, playing Kane in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Looks like we're heat-seeking our seduction target. Nope. DavidW often going to be more respectful. This is kind of the thing that you see, and we're getting a highlight for no good reason. Probably a very good reason, but I don't know what it is, so it's no good reason. So DavidW often more respectful about their flirt than most players, simply because they personally watch flirt and they know what looks suspicious or not suspicious. That being said, we are going to just do a quick double talk here as our seduction target enters the conversation. So
Highlights for Path.
Was it really a path highlight? Because what was wrong with the path?
I mean, everything apparently.
Ooh, got bots in chat. We got
I want to be famous. Let's go.
we got bots in this game, but unfortunately, I think catching a stray highlight means that we probably have more heat than almost anybody else in this party. You don't get random highlights without completing missions, without it being a really bad sign for your spy play.
But something that also does kind of affect your spy play is not doing things. We're just standing around, which we're getting a little bit of flirt from it, but we do need to get other things too, if we want to finish.
This is a statue that is often gets blocked by the shark at times, and DavidW is taking a peek at what the laser is looking at. If the laser doesn't come over to us and give us a highlight, it's pretty telling that we've already taken a light, be it a highlight or a low light, and it clearly wanted nothing to do with us. I think DavidW might have a suspicion.
Banana bread.
Fake banana bread, but it doesn't actually help our cause. We did not complete a mission, and we are just self-framing because the suspected double agent happens to be next to us. That bug, while it didn't stick, I think was behind the shark, so I don't think there's going to be a huge cost there.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you just gotta take a bug discomfort. So
it's so confident too. We're getting shot, but we're getting shot in like the ankle, the foot, which is just what you do when you feel confident, you just don't want to miss the shot. Miniorek just having no patience there for somebody he pinned early for presumably pathing because just nothing else went on in the first 5 seconds, and then willing to shoot there for the second inspect.
Miniorek really being the reason Kane has a cane right here.
Yeah, that's rude to be.
Come on, Mini.
It's like shooting wheels in the wheelchair. It's like, yes, it's illegal. Any part of their body can be shot, except for the dog for Queen. Just everything else can be shot, but it's rude. It's inconsiderate. You know what's also inconsiderate? Not letting your opponent win a game. It's 2-0 Miniorek, and maybe it'll give DavidW here one now, but it's going to be more Aquarium in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Speaking of other weird targets, we're hair, also known as ponytail, which, I mean, we can always shoot in the ponytail, so I'm always excited for that.
This is Alice. Please.
Oh.
Hair is.
I'm tired. Okay.
No, I don't like. I don't love the name ponytail because it's multiple syllables. Like
Yeah.
3 syllables. It's already too much for our ability to memorize, unless we're beatboxing, which I think is definitely hot tech if anybody wants to steal that. We got 51% in pocket here. Good start for Miniorek, and we saw them have a pretty quick start last time. I would like to see it again. Timer floating isn't going to be the way to do that necessarily, though.
I mean, but I mean, we've seen a lot of just really idle playing, and Aquarium is definitely one of the venues you do want to be a little bit more aggressive on because you can kind of get away with it because it's a big old sharks right there. You can do things.
Against DavidW, though, if you can get a 2 flirt, if we can have seduction target stay here and also hit the green test, it makes it really hard for DavidW to execute their game plan, which involves watching flirt much more than any other player. Unfortunately, seduction target has left us. We've just stood here for 45 seconds and have not been rewarded. We've been left in the dirt. Do we have a bugging opportunity in like 10 seconds when the shark comes by?
It looks pretty close. I think we should be able to standing bug. But we're just gonna do that bug.
There. Yeah, the arm that came out there wasn't actually the arm that was nearest the ambassador. It was when we started it, but we actually used our body to hide the arm. A really good bug there from Miniorek, and if our seduction target doesn't get close enough that we're going to be able to finish in 2 flirts, but we'll definitely take this. 85%, that's a pretty typical amount, not usually with 2 greens. Good position here for Miniorek.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good bug. It didn't look as good as I thought on the spy side, but it was really, really good. But we still need to, you know, do missions, because that's how SpyParty works.
Kind of wish that we'd stood in that conversation for a few more seconds because a double agent did come to us. We could have gotten that mission done. That being said, waiting around isn't always going to be the best option, and we do need to continue moving. It's going to be 70 seconds left on the clock. Miniorek with almost 2 missions. It could be 3 if we just flirt and purloin. If we do purloin right now, it will be the suspected double agent, so it won't be a new suspect because it just goes to the nearest person. And while Miniorek wouldn't necessarily know this, sending the suspected double agent doesn't result in someone who can be shot, right? Because they have an arrow above their head. They are not the spy from the sniper's perspective.
And even if it doesn't take, the SDA does in fact have a book, which if DavidW sees the slam knows that there's something going on.
Okay, we're doing a double split. So we split, they split, but they have a book in hand, and they didn't even want to go. It's going to show mission win pending on the screen, but there's no chance for this purloin to go off because it's going to take a while for the character that we purloined, or sent the purloin, to even go put the book in the bookcase and then get to the bar, and it's already expired. We need to have a 4th mission, no matter what the big red text says. Or the big red text says,
I was gonna make that joke.
is a shot on Tex or Cowboy. Again, DavidW just falling for a civilian's wiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tex had finished prints there. There was a printed bar, so womp womp.
People are just finishing prints. What in the world is up with teal with this delegate, by the way? Because I thought it was just green must have been full, but it does not. No, never mind. Green was totally full. So that is why teal didn't go directly to green, because green was full.
Yeah, 3 missions done. Miniorek wasn't in the worst spot in the world, but we only had 4 seconds left once the shot really came through. Because the Purloin didn't trigger, Miniorek was in a really rough spot and gets paid off there by a jumpy sniper. As a result, Miniorek continues their rudeness, shooting Kane's left leg and not letting DavidW have any of the cake. It's DavidW's turn to maybe try and steal the cake as Taft in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Taft usually someone you see as ambassador, but I think DavidW randoms, so you never. We'll see some weird shenanigans with randoming.
Yeah, and he does have a fair bit of power on this particular venue. He kind of blends in with something like this corner, for example, but more importantly, because he is portly, the back statues with Taft holding the statue are quite a threat. We're seeing the same sort of fortune that we saw in one of our earlier games where just a lot of people have gone to the bar early. If we do a purloin, there might still be a good handful of suspects, just because the venue and the AI are being quite busy. A lot of them are getting in line for a drink. David W's happy to get in that line. I think this is a good play.
Yeah. Another thing about Taft choice while we're just standing around is Taft is actually really short, and it's not usually used on many venues because he's also really wide, so he's not really easily hideable. But Shark's notably wider than Taft, surprisingly enough. So wideness does not matter that much for this venue.
Okay, it's gonna be a Smallman send, which is always a good thing. Smallman getting a bit more heat. And it was kind of behind the shark. I do believe Miniorek definitely has the possibility of knowing where this could have been. But, I mean, at worst, I think it's going to be between Smallman General and Taft. We'll see if and when the Purling goes off, what the reaction is, if there's going to be any lowlights, if not a shot. Purloin does come off. It's the first one I think we've seen all day. And what is the reaction? It's going to be 1 low light, 2 low light, 3 low light, 4, 5, 6. But just low lighting the characters who weren't high lit, it doesn't look like they have a true understanding of who could have sent the Purloin, just who wasn't at the bar recently, which is still pretty good for Miniorek. DavidW is 3 missions done though, and plenty of time on the clock.
And with only 1 mission left to go, and we are Taft with plenty of time left, going to the back statues and swapping is always a good option in that case. Except, of course, when it's not. But I think David agrees. So we're gonna attempt to do that.
Yeah, Shark's not going to be helpful. It's about as far away from blocking this as possible. And usually you just want to go for the white test here. We are holding it above our head. Miniorek needs to notice it now. Laser comes over and it is going to be a shot. Wasn't like a snap over. Miniorek just lazily drags it over, but has plenty of target with Taft's backside. Showing it's 4-0 Miniorek. We saw that DavidW banned Balcony, but maybe they should have just banned Aquarium. This has been pretty rough for them.
Yeah. I mean, they also, the unfortunate thing is they did kind of lift it over their head as they were swapping, so you could literally see the swap happening, but
Yeah, there's other animations, right? So there's 3 for each character, and the easiest one to see for the sniper is going to be what I call the Simba, where it's like Rafiki at the beginning of Lion King, where they raise it above their head, and then it swapped like right as it reached the top, and all the giraffes cheered. Miniorek has hit the Smallman button, but they're up 4-0, so this is not an emergency Smallman. This is a I'm in the lead and I'm going to play Smallman. You can't stop me, Smallman. and we'll get it started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
A good Smallman game every once in a while is always nice to see. And a bad Smallman game is sometimes even better to see. But hopefully we get to see a good Smallman game. Because, you
Yeah.
know.
I mean, generally with Smallman, he's a small character. You get a lot of cover. That's not actually the main reason I think he has appeal on Library. The other big boon with Smallman is he has really quick watch check animations, and as a result, he has really good time ad. It takes like less than 2 seconds when most other characters take 3 or 4. And Library is a very easy map to get away with a couple time ads, especially if you have the Smallman power.
The downside, though, is Smallman is actually pretty darn small. And also slow because of his small legs. So his smallness also doesn't come into play much because of the sniper's fairly high angle. So Smallman is probably one of the weaker Smallman menus, but it's still Smallman, so you know.
I'd say short legs probably, small legs. I mean, they are also small, but I think the shortness is what makes them slow. Usually our other slow characters, it's that their dress is getting in the way, right? Like it's Pearls and Sari just have these long flowing dresses, and it's the sort of dress that you have to hold to be able to walk in. Smallman's case, it just makes sense. It takes more effort for him to get anywhere. We have not done anything, by the way. This is a full DavidW game being played by Miniorek. We've rejected 2 drinks. We've stood in conversation and generally wasted the first minute and a half. And now we're getting cheap. Taking a book and we're taking it to the other bookcase. Mission done. Congratulations, you've done 1 mission. And we're getting shot for it.
Yeah.
You've done literally nothing except for the thing that you did, and now you die. Welcome to SpyParty. It kind of reminds me of chess, where chess and SpyParty have a couple things in common, but one thing that's in common is just the game can end immediately, and you're like, okay, I have a mate in 1. Do you notice it? And they go, yep, and you go, okay. The game either ends or it doesn't, and that's the case here with SpyParty. There isn't much more to say.
The only real difference is you can get away a lot with memeing on SpyParty.
Smallman is so dramatic, by the way. I love the way he just completely falls over, despite the fact I'm pretty sure we got shot in like the finger.
Drama queen, or drama Smallman, I should say, because you know Queen's still alive.
Yeah. Alice here in the corner. 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Not hair, I should mention.
No, that's a different character, and it's already all the characters have hair except for the characters that don't have hair. DavidW awkwardly having to walk near the ambassador. Hopefully doesn't get credited for a bug between just the fact that AI would actually take that path sometimes, and also the drink in hand. But not the best start that we've ever seen here on Library.
Best start on Library I've seen this set though, I should say. Considering
yeah, because Miniorek did nothing to a point that I just fumbled and said it was DavidW. What's the game plan here? We might be able to sneak a flurry at windows, but they're also likely to leave. DavidW instead going to really sneakily take a book out. Yet again, just not really allowing for the animation to start, not allowing for the sniper to see us at the bookcase. And now we're at the green bookcase, which is where we were, right, Sniper?
Yep. We're just gonna do exactly what we shot for last time, and it seems to get away with it.
Yeah, but we took a little pit stop in the conversation, which made it marginally less cheesy. We are Swiss. There are holes in our cheese. We are not cheddar. Do not worry. Microfilm done, and we don't have a highlight. We don't have a shot. I think we got away with it more or less.
But getting away with my mission is not getting away with 5 missions, unfortunately. But
yeah, it's definitely one of the more important ones, right? Like, we still have plenty of time to complete our flirt, to complete our context. DavidW has been known to run into time issues with those sort of missions, but Microfilm does really help our ability to finish. We still need to find 1 or 2 like big missions though, and we still need to continue the pace up. I do like just heading towards this conversation contact doesn't look the worst. There is a fully empty
Banana bread.
conversation, but the other two conversations are quite busy.
It's yeah, definitely not an awful BB, especially for library. But
Irish not getting a low light there is definitely concerning. You're seeing them at middle statues, and if you're not low lighting them, it means that you feel like they split to go to statues.
or you just missed the low light, you know. But they're highlights, so I'm pretty sure he's crediting possible split.
Walking over the briefcase here, what's gonna be middle statues would definitely make sense, and yeah, our seduction target's never going to come join us because that's a swap and it's a red swap. We should just die here, right? Miniorek is definitely considering it, and the second cycle will do it. They weren't 100% confident on the swap. The fact that the spy could also be completing the inspects is enough for Miniorek to take the shot. Red test swaps are weird though, right? Like you see the flash and you go, it's... then you see the other flash and you go, oh, did I see it incorrectly? And then you see the third flash and you go, okay, I see what happened here. And Miniorek is able to take the shot. Congratulations to DavidW not timing out. The bad news is it is not a particularly friendly scoreline.
Yeah,
5-1.
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean the game's over yet, because I mean it has to be 7-7 something for the game to be over, or 6-6. But
DavidW can definitely win this. I mean, this is their own pick. They are sniper on library. They do have to do 5 missions. It's definitely sniper favored. Miniorek playing as Cowboy in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Cookie, I ask you this question: who has the best shoes in SpyParty?
okay, well, if we're saying shoes, then I can't say boots because those aren't
Footwear.
shoes; they're boots. I actually do really like Boots' boots. I mean, they're really nice looking, but shamefully, they don't get to be used that much. Wheels also has really like slick, nice shoes. But
Yeah,
I mean, come
Wheels-
on, we have cowboy boots over here.
Are Cowboy boots a good thing or a bad thing in your mind? Miniorek, by the way, just walking straight through the conversation to do this briefcase.
I mean, if you can put cowboy into something, it's automatically better. Like,
We have taken a highlight here from DavidW. With DavidW, it's always a bit of a mystery. It could have been related to the path, it could have been related to the fingerprint, or it could be simply because we're in a conversation that we could be flirting kind of behind a pillar. But either way, Miniorek has taken a bit of heat, and this purloin is a green test, probably necessary. The laser was kind of setting on us. If we did the white test behind the pillar, I think we would have been in trouble. And Toby the waiter, has gone as far away as possible, and then also had it rejected by Smallman, and he's on his way back. So for a purloin on library, this is going really well so far.
yeah.
Now
I mean,
he's
once it hits green, it's can't be doing super bad.
He's walked all the way across the venue, couldn't find anybody to serve, and has now come back to the original conversation, but we've already been here and there. We're now walking through, and we could potentially even like request and return this if we were feeling incredibly spicy.
Oh, please do it. Be the spicy. No.
We're just seeing, like, hoping to be seen here standing next to an empty tray with no drink in hand. I'm not 100% sure what the reaction here is from DavidW. If we saw the rejection behind the pillar originally, we should still have the heat. But it doesn't look like there's like too many lowlights coming off so far. It feels like it might have perplexed DavidW a bit.
Yeah, the lowlights seem to be coming fairly slowly, so definitely has to think about it a little bit. But we only have 2 minutes left, and we don't even have any flirt at the moment, so we do need to actually, you know, do stuff.
I mean, not necessarily, right? We've seen DavidW shoot on Aquarium without like too much provoking from Miniorek. We did lose the last game, which was the most active game that we played so far this set as Spy. If we're gonna do something, maybe like a time ad, just to extend the game, give ourselves the opportunity to either have civilians shot or complete missions without having to do it. brashly or rudely. Uh, this is going to be one of the slower ones. No matter how we do a microfilm, it can't be particularly quick beyond the very, very cheesy attempt to just walk to the other bookcase, which we've already been shot for. So
And we are also one of the 2 highlights in a very small party for library, so it does not look good here for Mini.
yeah.
I say that.
There were 2 highlights, 16 lowlights. And DavidW is willing to shoot one of the few neutral lights. There were 3 characters who did not have a highlight or low light. It's going to be Alice there, who was visiting statues. Miniorek, I think this is the reward for playing slowly, right? You've done a purloin, you've shown that. I would have preferred to have seen the sniper wait till at least Banana Bread said, unless you really are concerned about like microfilm and fingerprint and flirt and inspects. Or bug. Like there's like not too many different ways that Alice could finish without showing a swap, or without you missing everything. If a banana bread's not said, but I mean, really, it's a good game plan. Miniorek is just playing slow and getting rewarded by the sniper, and continues to just do the thing that's been working.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. That's, yep. I knew where I was going with that.
We say things. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Either way, continue on. DavidW as Boots, now match point. Needs to win every single game if they're going to salvage a tie in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Now you've got me thinking about Boots' boots because of the shoes question, and they are actually really nice.
Well, I'll give you the corollary question. Do you like twins shoes or not?
Well, now I have to go look at twin shoes. That is a
By the way, both
surprisingly
twins
loaded question.
by the way, both twins have the same shoes. You don't need to go look at both of them.
Yeah, I know. I knew that. I'm gonna say no. I don't like his shoes, especially considering it looks like he also has weird socks that really just.
On things that Miniorek doesn't like, DavidW has taken a highlight here for what was seemingly a good bug. But on library, any bug that's happening while the ambassador or the laser is on screen is not as good as if it wasn't being looked at. DavidW now with their whole match on the line has taken a incredibly high heat highlight, and then also went to statues immediately after. I'm hoping for their sake, so we can cast more SpyParty, that it's not going to be a quick death for them, but I'm not seeing what their options are, and they should probably know that they're a highlight too, because it happened after the bug.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it, by the way, that it's a good bug, because I was busy looking at Twins' shoes. But
it was a good double walking bug, so.
It was a very good bug, but any bug against Miniorek is dangerous, in my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah. Mini is very much scary, especially when it comes to stuff like bugs. But we're just gonna two flirt and leave. Nice.
Good choice here from DavidW. He hits the 2 flirt, which is lovely. Hitting those green tests is important. And then because the laser's on the other side of the party, also feels confident in just leaving immediately after, not wasting time. Breaking etiquette, but it doesn't matter if the sniper's just on the other side of the party. Good stuff here from DavidW. It's still going to be tough, but fingerprint here, that's going to hurt. That's going to do 2 things for us. 1, we just simply don't have the fingerprint. But 2, it's also going to make getting future fingerprints kind of prohibitive, because if we try and do 2 more fingerprints, we might already have credit for 1 fingerprint. Even if we get away with 1, Miniorek might have just noticed that we were at the blue bookcase and credit another.
I believe that was, what, the 7th missed difficult fingerprint in these 2 sets? Which is just really sad.
Yeah, coming off like the Winter Cup season where we've had players like Opie Wrights versus Lagor have hit every green test in the world, it's been a bit of a letdown here, especially on those difficult fingerprints. But that doesn't take away from these players' skill. This is our silver division. This is the highest that we're going to be seeing with SCL. on this particular cycle. The winner of this particular division will move on to gold. And if Miniorek continues to play in ways that they're getting 6-1 up against other opponents, it may well be them. Laser is waiting for us to potentially swap. Maybe watching this Purloin too. The ambassador's over here. There's a lot going on. We already have bugs, so we don't need to take it on the way through. But that felt like we were being watched. Because the ambassador and Toby were there, maybe we weren't, but I'm not confident that DavidW is confident about their position.
I mean, I think that was a double zoom in on the statue. I think we really need to have a very solid fifth mission. Well, maybe fourth, depending on when we do contact. But a green
Purloin
Purloin is definitely a good
done,
option.
and
Yeah.
Toby, Toby is running away from the scene of the crime. We're also heading the other direction. That's not helpful. We are heading towards our conversation with the double agent, maybe being able to do the banana bread while the Purloin's going off, but double agent leaves the conversation. We are as far away from Toby as we could be when the Purloin goes off, though. Let's see what the reaction is. It's going to be a couple of low lights. If we don't get shot here, I'm impressed by just the level of confidence that Miniorek has about this.
Yeah, I mean,
We've
down to two.
we've shown Bug,
Banana
we've shown
bread.
Inspects, and we've shown Purloin. Now with Banana Bread said, and we did do a split here. Oh, did we miss Pad there too? That's such poor timing for that.
I mean, to be fair, it was down to two. We were a highlight, and also
And there were
Disney, the only
21
other person
lowlights.
in, was out. So, so I'm pretty sure we were pretty much dead if there was a speck of overtime. I think it's just waiting for that.
If you could see the guest list, there would be 20 people on it, and we had 21 lowlights because we also lowlit Damon, who's not even on the guest list. He's just part of the staff there in the corner. Congratulations there to Miniorek. It's going to be a 7-1 victory for them over DavidW. This is going to be important for their campaign. They are going to have other sets here in silver, and it's just a really tough division, so I'm happy to see them get this one out of the way, but this is not all but anything but over for them. For DavidW, I'm happy to see a more active spy than we've been seeing from other DavidW play in recent time. It's just the ball was dropped on the sniper side. It was these civilian shots that let him down and resulted in a shorter set than we could have otherwise had.
Yeah, I mean, it's very sad that we had so many civ shots, but I mean, we'll just blame the civs. It's fine. It's probably their fault.
They picked up briefcases, and as we know, that's a crime. So, with that all said, do either of you guys know if or when there's going to be a cast here of more SpyParty, be it SCL or otherwise?
I believe there's a cast for the Winter Cup Finals. If you give me 2 seconds to check. With Tobo and Lagorov at 5 p.m. Tomorrow. No, that is semifinals. Nope, I don't know. Not at all.
I don't know why I ask these questions that are hard. It seems like somebody in chat says this finals are tomorrow.
Yeah, I think
That being
finals are
said,
tomorrow.
The easiest way to find out is not listen to us. The easiest way to find out is to hit that follow button if you haven't done so already. Beyond that, definitely feel free to join us on the Discord. We have Discord GG/SpyParty. It's an active community, and we're really happy to talk about the game and talk about these competitions that are in full swing, be it the ending of the Winter Cup or the beginning here of SCL and the SCL cast. So with that all said, if you want to buy the game, SpyParty.com, or it's also on Steam. Anything else to add here, Gresh, other than good job on your part? We always love our hosts.
No, it was a pleasure having this cast with you guys. Thanks so much to Pone Noob and Guggy. And thanks to all of you for watching. That'll be it from us tonight. Have a good one. Take care.